physicists have found a mathematical error baked into the fabric of the universe. Deja vu might be a literal glitch being patched in real time, and there's a number that keeps showing up in nature that mathematicians cannot explain, unless someone coded it in on purpose. Let's get into why some very smart people think we're all just NPCs in somebody else's video game. The observer effect. In quantum physics, there's this experiment where light particles act like a wave, spread out, fuzzy, everywhere at once, right up until a scientist measures it. The second you observe it, it snaps into a single solid particle, like it knew it was being watched and had to load in properly. It's basically a video game render distance. You know how far off objects in a game don't render until your character gets close enough? Yeah, that's this, but in real life, which I don't really love that much. There's a bunch of physical constants in our universe. Gravity, the strength of electromagnetism, stuff like that. And if any one of them was off by even a tiny fraction, atoms wouldn't form, stars wouldn't form, we wouldn't be here having this conversation right now. The odds of all of them lining up perfectly by random chance are apparently astronomically small. It's said that some physicists look at that and go, this looks less like an accident and more like default settings someone chose. Which, okay, sure, cool, totally normal. This one is genuinely unsettling. Some theoretical physicists believe our entire 3D universe might actually be information encoded on a flat 2D surface, kind of like a hologram, and we're just perceiving it as 3 dimensions because that's how our brains process it. It comes out of research on black holes, where the information about everything that falls in seems to get stored on the event horizon instead of inside. If that's how black holes work, some scientists think it might be how the whole universe works. I mean, I am certainly not a physicist, I just read about this stuff and get scared, but okay. You know that feeling where you're like, wait, I've done this exact moment before? Some simulation theorists genuinely argue that that's not a memory quirk. It's a rendering error. Like the system reloaded a section of your experience and your brain caught the seam. It is said that the more detailed and specific the deja vu feels, the more likely it's an actual glitch and not just your brain being weird. Which, thanks. I really hate that and I'm never trusting deja vu again. The speed of light being a hard, fixed limit that literally nothing can exceed. Some people in this theory compare that to a frame rate cap. Like the universe has a maximum refresh rate and light speed is just what that looks like from the inside. Apparently there's also a smallest possible unit of length called the Planck length. Almost like reality has a pixel size. Below that, distance kind of stops meaning anything. I don't know at this point, man. This one's my personal favorite because it's the closest thing to an actual smoking gun. Physicist James Gates claims he found what are called error-correcting codes embedded inside the equations that describe supersymmetry in particle physics. The exact same type of code used to fix errors in computer programs and browser data, like structurally identical. He wasn't even looking for it either. It was just there, in the math. That's the one that actually really gets me a little. We've mapped more of the surface of Mars than we have of our own ocean floor. That's insane. Over 80% of it remains completely unexplored, and it's said, only half-jokingly in simulation circles, what if it's not a technology limitation? What if it's a rendering limitation? Like the areas nobody's meant to look at just don't get built out in detail, the same way distant background objects in a video game stay low resolution until you actually walk toward them and get there. Convenient that the one place on Earth we can't easily verify is also the one place that's mostly empty void and darkness. I don't know, at this point, you guys need to drop your theories down below in the comments. What are your thoughts? Are we in a simulation? Are you pissed at the person who's running your simulation? Because I sure am. This is a real documented phenomenon, by the way. high energy particles from space occasionally strike computer memory and physically flip a single bit of data, causing tiny, unexplainable glitches in electronics. It happens all the time, apparently, which is why space agencies have to shield satellite hardware. So some simulation theorists point to this and ask, what if it's not cosmic radiation at all? What if it's actually the exact same kind of background error correction glitch you'd expect from a massive running simulation, occasionally hiccuping? Probably not, okay? But also, nobody's fully ruled it out either. So we have to take it into consideration at this point. This one is the actual argument that started this entire theory, okay? So we have to give it up. Everything is owed to this exact argument. Philosopher Nick Bostrom laid out something called the simulation trilemma back in 2003, and the logic is genuinely hard to argue with, to be honest with you. He says one of three things has to be true. Either civilizations always go extinct before developing simulation technology, or advanced civilizations exist but choose never to run simulations, or we are almost certainly living inside one. Because if even one civilization ever creates the technology to run realistic ancestor simulations, they'd probably run millions of them, which means simulated minds would vastly outnumber real ones, which means statistically, we're probably one of the simulated ones. That is not even really a conspiracy theory, that's kind of just math at this point, and that's one I really can't shake. This is when huge groups of people share the exact same false memory of something that never actually happened. The Monopoly Man never had a monocle, Curious George never had a tail, that kind of thing. The mainstream explanation is just memories unreliable, groupthink, whatever. But simulation theorists look at this and go, what if it's not false memory at all? What if the universe actually changed quietly in the background and a small percentage of us just noticed the seam? I don't love either explanation, to be honest with you. All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Bye.